And he was telling the dispatchers to call the police when the security guard who had been shot by Paddock told him to take cover. So as soon as I started to go to the door, this is Stephen Shuck saying, left the round, started coming down the hallway. So as soon as I started to go to the door to my left, the rounds started coming down the hallway. I could feel them pass right behind my head. It was kind of relentless, so I called over the radio what was going on, he added. As soon as the shooting stopped, we made our way down the hallway and took cover, and then shooting started again. Would have it made a difference in the timeline released by the police? This would have given them 6 minutes to respond to the shooter before he began shooting down on the crowd, according to this report. 6 minutes. So is this something to be looked at? According to CBS, it's a scathing report. And possibly it was ignored because he was a maintenance worker. So they're really looking into the story to see. I can tell you I'm confident that he was not able to fully execute his exact plan, and it certainly had everything to do with being disrupted. This is McHill. He was telling CNN. He says, I don't think the hotel dropped the ball. Because he could have done more. All this report is just pointing out people's feathers are going to get ruffled because the Vegas police have looked at this. The FBI obviously looked at this. And then you get this other report saying, no, we did everything we possibly could. But this maintenance worker they're really looking at, and they think this could, if this is fact, that 6 minutes could have made the difference. If they could have got into the door, could have blasted the door, he may not have been able to kill as many people or wounded as many people. 6 minutes. And the security guard said he was ignored. They didn't react. 6 minutes. Could he be up on the 32nd floor in 6 minutes? Of course he could. How long does it take? And I don't even know, the layout and the Mandalay. I know people that have been there, but I don't think I've been in the Mandalay. I've been in some other casinos many years ago. But anyway, they, it's just coulda, woulda, shoulda. But if this is true, that they did not pay attention to this maintenance worker, this has got to be heavy on his heart. To just know that that could have made a difference. 6 minutes? Are you kidding me? Absolutely. He knew there was something going on because of the shots coming out the door. 6 minutes could have averted a lot of it. Maybe not all of it, but a good number of it. So this is the newest to affect the timeline to the moment. And like I say, CBS was the first to report it. The AP's picked up on it. And you'll hear much more about this. Is there any credibility to it? Did CBS just report a fake nothing burger? I don't think so. I think it's legitimate that the maintenance worker worked for the hotel. That's been checked. I did some checking on that, and there's plenty of information to show that the guy's not looking for fame. He's not looking for his moment in there. He's just like, hey, I told him, my conscience, you would have to say something. I would have to say something. Any of us in the right mind would want to say something about it. Look, I tried to warn you guys. You didn't even listen. So, is it just a measly, maintenance worker? So just be on the lookout because there's much more to come out on this. Do you know who Christina Applegate is? She's been an actress for a long, long time. I liked her in The Anchorman. She was on, it was 1 and 2, the wife, girlfriend, lady friend, whatever you want to call her. But she was formerly Married with Children. big star. That's kind of really what made her. But she had her ovaries and fallopian tubes removed. Now, why am I talking about ovaries and fallopian tubes? She says it's cancer prevention. She says it's a measure because of her fears that her younger daughter may be susceptible to the disease. And she already had her breast removed. So she thought, hey, let's get the ovaries. Let's get all the plumbing taken out. Yeah, the ovaries, the fallopian tubes. So Applegate said, taking this serious. Applegate diagnosed with breast cancer back in 2008. Some of you might remember. Double mastectomy, both of them taken out. Both boobs removed. They can clip on some fake ones, from what I understand. But a precaution. She didn't have it, but, she had this gene. And she says if you or somebody you know that has BRCA positive, it's highly possible you'll develop cancer in your lifetime. So the first thing is to be really diligent about what you're putting in your body as far as what kind of food you're eating. And she goes on, she says, organic is expensive. She says, I get that, but I don't want to alienate anyone who can't pay for that. But maybe skip your morning latte and get organic vegetables for the week. Try to stay away from the foods that are filled with chemicals. Be a little bit more diligent and carve out as much of the bad stuff that you can, she added. Well, all ladies, make sure, whatever you do, you get your breasts examined once a year, like it or not. I know they squeeze it, they pinch them. It's not fun. And I know, folks that have it done, i.e. my wife, she gets it done. And luckily she's okay. But the stories that I hate to hear are women that haven't seen the doctor in forever. And then they get a pain or they get the lump and it's inoperable. Or it's metastasized so big that they do have to do the drastic surgery and remove the whole breast. Now, I guess if you're faced between dying of cancer or removing the breast, you're probably going to get the breast chopped off. You want to live. But the point is, as Christina Applegate is saying, you got to just take care of yourself a little bit more. And healthier eating, exercise, all of these things helps. And she puts one more into the equation. She says, and a lot of this is raising her 6-year-old daughter, Sadie, with her husband, musician Martin Lenoble, said that she realizes that her child may have the same BRCA gene mutation. She says, but I look at her and I feed her the cleanest foods. And then she says, to add to it, I try to keep her stress levels down. I'm doing everything I can on my end, knowing that in 20 years, she'll have to start getting tested. But she says to try to knock out the stress. Try to de-stress as much as you possibly can. That's something that we all should do. Breathe through the nose. Everybody do it. Hold it. Hold it. Don't you feel so much better? Yeah, pretty soon we're going to change the format of For the People. We're just going to be like a Dr. Phil show. And we'll have Dr. Oz on and all the good doctors. I know you can learn some stuff from some of those shows. I'm not saying you can't. But, people ask me all the time, what do you talk about? Just politics? We talk about politics. That's something we do. Lifestyle. We talk about outer space. We got Stanton Freeman that come on once in a while. And a few folks here and there that are interesting. But we talk about what's in the news. Water cooler discussion, the NFL. What's going on there? And we know there was plenty. Taking the knee. Well, we stand here, by the way, firstly, proudly. We have the American flag on the wall. By the way, a Marine put it in our studio. And if I look over to my right, the stars are to the left, and that's the way that it was supposed to be. And he placed it just right, and he did something that gave me chills. he saluted the flag, and the way he did it, I guess it was professional, but the reverence that he had for our flag. And I haven't touched it since he put it up. I don't want to do anything to it. It's just it was placed there by a decorated Marine. And I got to tell you something, I'm so proud to have it. And I'm so proud of the men and women that are serving now or have served our country. So we have the right to be on the air. We have a right to pursue happiness, have a family, being able to live in freedom. That's a beautiful thing because, folks, I've been a lot of other places outside the country, and I got to tell you, I understand why people kiss the ground when they come back. Yeah, there's some other countries that are decent and beautiful. There's no place like America. It's just one of a kind. But we fought for it. And who fought for it was African Americans, whites. That's right. Jewish, Italian, Muslims, Catholics, Buddhists, every religion, every denomination, every skin color, Asians, Mexican. They were Americans that came together and fought together for our freedom. Folks, there's no racism in the service. Racism is not there. We have people from all races, all faces, all religions, and they're serving faithfully and proudly. And they stand. Can you imagine if you had somebody in a military uniform who decided they did not want to salute? What do you think is going to happen to him or her? You wouldn't want to be there, would you? It would be very disrespectful. There's people that say, well, you're violating my rights if you don't let me bow. Man, you violate my rights. You don't let me take a knee. You get paid to do a job. You get paid to do what you're told to do. The NFL, the last I looked, is not the federal government. You can listen to your boss and the leaders tell you what to do. You don't do what you want to do. You have a contract. You play ball. You don't play politics. And you don't make a point on the field. You play ball. That's what we came here for. You want to do something on your off time, that's your business. And you know what? Several football players do. Ryan Neese here in the Tampa Bay area has got a foundation called the Ryan Neese Foundation. And what does his foundation do? They help children. They help families. They feed them. They clothe them. They educate them. They do all of these things. They help the community and make it a better place. This is what he does full time. He's not on the field. He's retired from the field. He speaks. He runs the foundation, does an awesome job. And Ryan Neese stands for the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. He stands. And folks, anybody that takes a knee and doesn't stand, in my opinion, doesn't care very much for this country or is totally ignorant of the freedoms that we enjoy. Is it illegal to do it? No. Is it right to do? No. And by the way, we're on that subject. There's a lot of things that may not be illegal. And I'm not going to mention them to give anybody ideas, but there's a lot of things that one can do. It doesn't make that it's right. And if you're in a stadium where 99.99% of the people are standing and you're kneeling,